Hey everyone.
Hey, Rachel.
Hey.
Everyone. Hey, hello, Tex-Trek followers, viewers. Your name was covering up part of the.
Yeah, I know. I didn't compensate for that.
Which I was like, I just wanted to point that I can read. It was covered.
It's a
Just
fact from now on.
yeah, I
No
I
one can
can
deny it.
read. I can't spell, but that's a different thing.
I could spell Tex-Trek, luckily, but
Yeah, Does everyone want to go around and introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm
sure.
Braxton.
Hey,
I'm
I'm
Joel.
Marcelo. Joel. Hi, my name
Ah,
is Joel. No. Hi,
no.
I'm Marcelo. I'm a podcaster, a YouTuber, and a writer.
I'm Joel.
Stanley.
I'm Rachel. Yeah.
Let's everybody give Joel a chance to say one thing and then interrupt him. One word and then interrupt him. Let's just go around and keep doing
That's
it.
that's the bit for the entire day. The
It's
entire
my
stream.
psychic power. It's like when you
Yeah.
meet someone and you both have to go lurch left or right. I
Yeah, that's
know
great.
which
But
way
here's
they're
the
going to
thing:
go,
you need to do
and I do
this.
that.
Yeah. And I guess so. What did everyone think about this episode, Whistlespeak? I'm getting better at trying to remember the names of the episodes.
It's really hard to spell Whistlespeak
Oh yeah, I
because it's
can't.
all one word, and spell
It's all
check won't
one
help
word.
you.
Yeah.
I had to put a
We just
space into
established that I cannot spell.
I can sometimes spell, and it's still hard.
I love spell check. It's a very helpful friend.
It is.
I thought this episode was fantastic. I thought that I would like it. When I saw the thumbnail for the episode and I saw Michael and Tilly together. I love when Michael and Tilly team up. I think that the actresses have such good chemistry together. So I totally thought that I was gonna like it, and then I totally did.
Yeah.
You know, um, I don't know. Like I feel like more Tilly all the time. It seems like we never get enough of her except for a few select episodes, and this is one of them. But I thought that this episode was really really fun. I enjoyed the teamwork. I enjoyed the sisterhood. As I got like pretty deep into the show, like I was like looking at my calendar. I was like, like this seems to be like a lot about like mothers and stuff, like abuelas, like the woman that Michael was interacting with. I was imagining like was reminding her of her mother. Like I felt like Tilly was mentoring that young person, who had lost her mother. I was like, is Mother's Day like Sunday or something? I like looked at the calendar and then I saw that it was, 2 weeks from now. But I thought this was a really good episode. I enjoyed so much of it.
Yeah, I too really like this
Uh,
episode. Congratulations. Yeah.
I think this is my fault because I'm next to Braxton. So visually, I should be going next, and I've been missing the mark each time.
I don't know. Yeah.
This chaos. That's the vibe of these streams.
Whoever doesn't screw up, just like the race, wins a free death. So
Rachel, you
Yeah.
should select who to give the mic to next.
Here, I'll go with Joel because we keep accidentally cutting him off.
yeah, well, it's my fault. But anyway, this episode was great, and I like how it starts with they can't find what to do with our little glass vial, and Michael's just pretty much like use anthropology because I love it, and then they do it, it works, and it's great, and they get to go undercover, and we get some new stuff like I didn't even catch it the first time, but they beam subcutaneous communicators into them. There's a line about that, which I didn't even catch the first time. And I did, the tricorder and the, contact lens tricorder. I got that wrong. But that stuff was fun.
Yeah.
And then, we meet this poor dad whose daughter is like, I'm going to go on the death race because she doesn't really know. Which is weird. They don't teach that.
I think they
maybe
knew.
you should do that if your kid.
I would say they definitely knew.
I thought
All
they
the older people did.
No, I would say
Rava didn't seem to. Or maybe
Rava definitely knew because I was curious. Because like halfway through the episode, I clocked it. I was like, oh, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
But at the end, they definitely knew what was about to happen to them. They were like, it's okay, I'll speak to them. And because they specifically say, I don't need this to remember Mother anymore.
Yeah.
So I imagine they're
Mm.
imagining they're going to wherever their mother is, whatever afterlife they believe in.
Mm.
Yeah, then she stumbles and falls, and the dad's just like, oh,
Thank God.
thank the
Like,
gods.
Yeah.
And Tilly's like, no, no, no. Here you go. Here's some water.
Mhm.
Thank you.
This little shit's gonna die.
Yeah.
We're going to die together.
Tilly
For
calling them
sisterhood.
a little shit was great.
Loved it.
I would say that because that is a term of endearment I used for my like shit stirring friends.
Yeah, no.
I guess before Stanley, before we start talking about the episode too much, what are your first thoughts?
I loved it. I thought this was a very classical Trek episode.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
It kind of reminded me of the original series in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I've also said a few times, just to ruffle feathers, that I think Captain Burnham is the most Kirk-like captain we've had since Jim Kirk.
You're kind of not wrong.
That showed in this episode for sure. I love Tilly. I love getting to see more of different alien cultures. I also love finding out that the Denobulans were like, fuck that Prime Directive.
Big time.
That's going to be a salon conversation at some point between
Mhm.
seasons of Trek is thoughts on the Prime Directive. I am very against it, but I'll save those for another time.
I feel my thoughts on the Prime Directive. I was like, I get it in theory, in practice. What? Like,
Yeah, this episode was great. I really liked the way that it sort of played with the power of belief and what belief can do to a civilization, and what happens when a civilization believes in something that is not necessarily true, and
mhm.
the conflicts that it can that something like that can bring about, like the conflict between a father and his daughter, and for the daughter to believe in a higher calling when the true facts are that this thing was just there to make them believe in something and not necessarily
Yeah.
it's not real. So I really like how this episode played with the power of belief and the
Mhm.
and the effects that it can have on people. I really like episodes that are centered around I like Tilly. She's one of my favorites. So like a bunch
Mhm.
of you, it was really, really great to see her stretch her wings, get a lot more to do. And I also find it funny, but I really like that for one reason or another, they're leaning into Michael's ability with a specific science. You said it at the beginning of the stream, but I can't remember what.
Xenoanthropology.
Yes, xenoanthropology. I like that. I like that for some reason. The writers decided to like, oh yeah, we introduced this thing about Michael eons ago, and it'd be really cool if we lean into that in the final season of the show. So I really like how that's working out so far.
I also really liked this episode. I really liked what they were saying about faith. A lot of this would be just me repeating what you've already said. I really liked the actor playing Riva. I thought they did a really good job of like, being like likable and watching, but like have like just the right of like naivety to like for me to buy like their faith. I might be the only one who came to this conclusion. I thought it was kind of like talking about like real religions, and that the story they end up telling is a lot like the actual biblical story of like Abraham almost sacrificing Isaac, like his son.
Mm.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like to the point where like, and I'm not super religious, so if I get part of this wrong, I just went to a Catholic school for a year. For we were moving a lot reasons, but it's like God tells Abraham sacrifice your son, and he almost does it, and then the messenger from God stops him at the last second to be like, you've proved like, and you don't need to actually sacrifice your son. And it's just like Michael coming and literally saying, like, I'm not a god, but maybe a god sent me. maybe go like, this seems a little too like close to not be a little on purpose, at least. But I thought it was like interesting that it was like an alien faith, and I was like drawing parallels to like an actual religion.
I think there's other parallels too to actual religions. Just like there's this fetishizing of suffering, which
Yeah.
you could see that in a lot of Christianity. It's just like,
Mhm.
no, it's good you're
Definitely.
suffering because Jesus suffered, so you didn't have to, so you should do it too, even though you don't. Yeah, it's just cyclical. Yeah, thing.
Definitely.
I don't always love stories of faith because I think often in media it's either like, oh look, there was a miracle and it really wasn't more of a science, and they play it off. I loved that aspect of this episode because I thought it did a really good job of being respectful of beliefs, but also saying, maybe just offering a different perspective. The quote that I wrote down was, there is still what you believe. Nothing we have shown you means gods don't exist. And then later, now you know there is also us. Loved it.
I love that because like I said, I'm not a religious person by any means, but I've always thought when people were like, if God would save me, he would do something. And I was like, I think God is sending, like, if there's a God, he's sending you the medicine that the doctor's trying to give you. Like,
yes, very that. I've had so many arguments about it.
Like,
no, God wants me to be holier than thou. That's the important thing.
Isn't there is a story in the Bible that supposedly, I am not a person of faith, and I will do my best to be respectful here. But my understanding was there is a story that explains why God waits so long to show themselves, and then is like, you know what, I'm not gonna meddle so directly anymore. And so like, why can't we believe? Oh yeah, medical science is adapting through inspiration.
Yes, through inspiration.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, and I think this episode showed that like beliefs don't need to be so binary. And then I'm now realizing this is also a culture that like had like purposely there are like 3 genders. So maybe I'm reading into something that's not there, or maybe that is on purpose.
Yeah, as a atheist, I've always found it really interesting how Star Trek in general as a franchise deals with the idea of religion and how it's emboldened their storytelling and how they handled it from a science fiction perspective. So I'm always fascinated with the storytelling techniques that different writers have through different series.
Yeah, totally. It is. Yeah, it's always fascinating to see how Trek deals with faith, and it sometimes is, but it's usually not actual religions. Like in this case, it was. Sorry, it was a religion that was made for the show.
What did you guys think about Adira on the bridge? Like, did you think about Wesley at all when you saw Adira on the bridge? I certainly did. Even though
you're doing
I
this
feel
on
like
purpose. I don't get it, but
Wesley's
obviously it's
always
written
very-
that way.
So much, but I am so over them. Like, you've been on the ship how long? You've been on the bridge before. Like, they told the fish out of water story so well with Tilly, and then it felt like they decided to redo it with Adira, but with the different identity piece to it, and they're just not. I don't know if it's execution. I don't know if it's writing. I don't know if it's actor choice. But I'm just.
It's right.
It's very frustrating.
It seems
Yeah,
to be
I-
all.
I found it like because it was a mix of like I really liked Rayner in those scenes, but I was like, I don't understand why Adira is this like anxious about being on the bridge.
They also seem to have forgotten that they're a joined trill. There was a whole episode giving them access to their memories, and I don't think that like that. We've seen it with like Ezri in particular. That doesn't supersede being in a younger body, being a younger person, not being trained for it. But it did impact Ezri.
Yeah,
they've sort of ignored it since that season.
yeah,
And that's the thing they all say. All the trills are like the confidence. That was like the first thing. So
And I mean, I guess you could like you could even like if they had worked it in more the non-confidence where Ezri, because of being so unprepared for it, did have like confidence issues.
And in that season, it was only the first couple of episodes. Like I was a bit of an Ezri hater at first, and then she grew on me.
Yeah.
Adira now, like they've had plenty of time to adjust. They're part of this chosen family with with Paul and Hugh. There has been zero growth for them for some reason. They are exactly the way they were pre-memory unlock, and I don't get it.
Yeah, she has a
Yeah,
breakup. They have a breakup.
the
That's it.
writers the writers had an opportunity to do something amazing with Adira and Gray, but they kind of flummoxed it up. And I would just like to agree with Stan, and you know, in that she has the memories of countless individuals in her subconscious, or however that works, and they should just lean into that, and that could be a way to give her more agency and to make her more critical to the ship. But if they wanted to do that, they should have laid the groundwork to do that in her first season or her second season on the show, not now, because like you guys have said, it's like they introduce elements to her character in one episode to serve that singular story, and then they just throw it out with the bathwater. And that's not the way that you properly build story. That's not the way it works.
You know, I also feel like, so I think maybe it's Rayner that makes Adira seems so anxious, because you know, like when she's with Tilly and Stamets working like in the engineering room, or like the spore drive chamber, you know, like she's like confident and like a member of the crew. So I don't know. I think that a lot of people are like weird and uncomfortable maybe with certain people, but then around like other people, like they're their natural selves. I don't know. I kind of felt like it was Rayner that was making her that way.
And I guess I could definitely see that because Rayner's an intense dude. And like,
yeah, he makes you nervous.
Pretty good though.
He was being, like I said, I really liked Rayner I liked Rayner as a captain a lot in the scenes with Adira. I was just a little confused about some like of what Adira's like. I liked the seemed like a stern dad vibe where he was like, "That's not your fault." Like,
we've all had a night out on Trill and came back with a time bug. It happens.
There's some good points being made in the chat about them still struggling with inadvertently bringing on the time bug, and Rayner doesn't necessarily put people at ease. Like I kind of get that, but I loved Rayner's interaction here. It's like, you would not be here if I didn't trust you. It was still stern, but softened from how he was a few episodes ago, which I thought worked. Like that aspect of it, I thought worked really well.
Yeah. Well, that's why I went when I was described it. I was like, stern dad. There's like a care of. There's like a. There's some care in it now. Like. I'm just because I see the thing. I'm pretty sure. Tall is in Adira.
The symbiote is still in Adira. I am 100% certain, because Adira would be dead if not.
Yeah.
Because once joined, you cannot be unjoined. Gray's consciousness was put into the Golem body.
Yeah. And I don't I genuinely, since the Golem body isn't like it's a synthetic body, I don't know that the thing could even go in there.
Yeah, humans barely worked, so I guess we have to remember that it's probably the humanness of being joined that might be interfering still. She has the memories now like she didn't before, but they didn't before.
Sure,
they definitely have the memories.
It's been so
but
long.
They don't talk about it, so.
And like, listen, I'm the first to say things like grief isn't linear, and like the trauma of taking on that burden shouldn't be. It's probably not linear, but I just feel like what the Adira we got before they outed themselves as Tal themselves in the first season as a United Earth officer was more confident that this person who has gone through everything that they've gone through, been entrusted by Captain Burnham, been entrusted by Commander Rayner, found their chosen family, like went through what they've gone through with Gray, and being happy for him being back on Trill. Like it just it feels lopsided, and I don't think they're showing us enough to warrant the character being so wonky and anxious in this particular moment. But I could be wrong. But yes, Joanne is correct. Adira is a they, Gray is a he.
Yes.
And apologies if I misstated either of those.
I've screwed it up already, but
but no, yeah, I agree. I think it would be like if it was like an older Trek show that didn't have like other characters weren't going through like arcs. I don't think I would notice, but I was like, no, Adira should be going through more of an arc than they currently are.
it's the same arc though. It's just maybe I don't know. It's cyclical. I don't really get why, but
Like I almost starting to wonder is like maybe is Adira going to be on the Academy show and they want them to start from like a certain spot.
speaking of
Oh,
which,
that'd be interesting.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a
Dan does
good. That's a
not
good
want it, I
theory.
can tell.
That's
I
that's a really good theory.
And maybe it'll be better. They did such a good job with Tilly. I think Tilly and Adira's arcs have been similar to a point, and they just sort of lost the script with Adira somewhere, and maybe them also, but their science background and their awkwardness, it's too similar. It would be particularly unusual for them to bring both Tilly and Adira over to another show. But I could be
just had
wrong.
this thought. I'm not necessarily thinking. I think it's the right choice for the show.
Yeah. I mean, for if Dare were to come over to Starfleet Academy, it would be an opportunity for the writers to correct most of their wrongs that they did with her in Discovery. Like I'm constantly obsessing about the fact that they didn't lean into the relationship with Gray and make their relationship actually matter, because they just sort of like dangle their feet into like a pool and say, "Oh, let's try this," and they're like, "Oh, we don't like this," and then we're gonna do this. It didn't make any sense. It's like I really was frustrated with their lack of commitment to that relationship. If you're gonna do something like that with two of those with two characters of that ilk, then go for it. Don't dangle your feet in the water and say, "I don't want to get wet."
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think and I don't know. There seemed to be something where they just don't seem like. I don't know if it's like they don't have.
goal.
I can't think.
Yeah.
I can't think of the actor that plays Gray's name right now.
Gray was not very interesting. I'm sorry. I was tired of Gray. I'm glad that she's gone. Or
Ian
I'm
Alexander,
glad
right?
that he's gone. I'm sorry. I don't mean to like misgender people like Stan.
Hang on.
I'm just joking, Stan. I'm just joking.
No, I know, but for the record, because this stays up.
Yeah. For the record, that's not.
It's forever. Still.
Yeah.
I would like to see. I would love to see more trans and non-binary characters in Trek. I'm glad that they've gone this route.
Yeah.
With some of the characters,
There
representation
was a new
matters.
non-binary character in this episode.
And there's another non-binary character on the bridge. Lieutenant Gallo is non-binary.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Cool.
Who is that? Is that the person who's driving now? Who has OOC?
What?
No to the first thing, yes to the second thing. They're in OOC, but they're not driving.
Can somebody on this beautiful panel here that I have in front of me explain to me where Kayla Detmer is? Like, what is she
She's
doing?
taking the ISS Enterprise back.
They're taking the Enterprise back.
Oh yeah, right.
And it has no warp drive.
Reese is watching them go. Like, oh.
Thank you. Thank you. I completely forgot that, but
The
thank you.
the intermix
Thank you, guys.
chamber was ejected, so they're gonna be on that trip alone.
They're
for a
rowing.
couple.
Yeah, they got to row
Mhm.
home.
They're wrong. They're actually
Row,
right.
row. Your
You're
starship.
right.
Subspace oars.
Yeah.
It's
It
hard.
says oars.
They need to get whatever that ship however when Cisco made the the sail ship to
Oh, yeah.
and
Solar
ended
sail.
up at Cardassia.
Photon sail. I forget what it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
Oars,
It's
right?
a
light ship.
song, you green blooded on Vulcan. You don't think about
we
the
talk
words.
about-
You sing it. You have fun. Sorry.
can
Sorry.
we talk about Culber's existential crisis?
They talked
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah,
So
this
that's what
was
we
the-
wanted.
This was the first episode that I found it interesting. That they've given us, I think, a little too little the last couple of episodes because it's been so vague for me. But I like it in this episode because we finally got some gayness with him and his husband. They finally kissed for only the third time in 5 seasons.
And he complimented
But-
his brain.
It complimented his brain. It was lovely.
I thought they were very cute in this episode.
Loved that aspect of it. I want to talk about how crazy bad it is. Like the idea of programming a hologram to be your dead grandmother for grief counseling. Am I the only one who saw that and thought, oh, this is such a lovely
No.
moment? And then it clicked. I'm like, wait a minute, this is
Yeah.
No.
insane.
Stan,
is-
do you know what, Stan? If I could talk to my mother in a hologram, girl, I would.
I
Do
had a moment where I was
see.
like,
Yes, I would
The
talk
thing
to
is,
my
I-
mother in a hologram like,
you would
For
have to
sure.
maybe let someone do it once and then cut them off so they don't spend their entire life trying to talk to their dead relatives.
This is one of the things
I could see me
I also
doing that with my dead grandmother. Like,
Yeah, this is one of the things that I want to talk about on the salon as well, and like a supplemental in between seasons is the ethics around the holodeck. Like, for example, like you should not be able to create holographic characters of other living people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I need that rule, and I will be fully transparent. I need that rule in place to stop me from fucking my crush on the holodeck. Like,
The broccoli protocol.
if that rule's not in place,
Yeah.
why wouldn't I have a hologram Chris Evans to have sex with? Right? Like,
I
Stands
no,
as
totally. That's
not America's.
and yeah, exactly. So I think similarly, but obviously also very different. Like, one, his abuela died over 800 years ago, or over 930 years ago.
like
Whatever amount of time. So
yeah.
this hologram is being programmed by him talking about his memories. Our memories are not accurate.
Yeah.
They're just not. And so I'm wondering, like, when she couldn't answer that question, or her saying, oh, actually I replicated it. Like, that's the computer making that up. That might
Yeah.
not be true. Right?
Yeah,
'Cause, like, he said to the computer, what's your recipe? What's your secret to make it so good? He did not know that she actually replicated it. So for the hologram to say that means that the hologram had to make it up. And that is a wild thing to me. Like, it is wild that would be an appropriate
Yeah.
means of dealing with
the
grief.
only thing I could see specifically for the Discovery crew is to give the people who jumped like a chance to say goodbye to relatives. Like, one time you get to say goodbye to your relative that you had to leave very suddenly.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
Star Wars is always doing it. People are always like force projecting themselves like dead people and stuff.
Well,
I don't know. I feel like
I would say
people's
force projection-
connections to ancestors
How
is
I
really
understand force
important.
projection is those are actually those people,
Yes.
as opposed to us.
chat
Okay,
abuela.
I'm remembering. Do you? This is just popped in my head now. Do you remember when I think Kanye West made a weird like hologram of Robert Kardashian for
Thankfully, no.
Kim,
But
Kim
sure it
Kardashian's
happened.
birthday? He made a hologram of her dead dad, and he made him call him like Kanye West a genius. It was insane. he talked more about Kanye West than his other children. Um, and I just remember, I want to say it was like Megan McCain or something like that, just like retweeted it. Oh, I just had to tell my husband, please, as someone from the Dead Dad Club, please never do this.
It's a question coming up a lot with AI. You know, I
Yeah.
saw something the other day. Some company decided to make their AI, their front-facing AI, Alan Turing. Like,
Right.
I saw
you
that.
post that.
it's so
Insane.
fucked up. It is so fucked up. The man went through plenty.
Oh,
He
God.
does not need to
Mhm.
be brought back from the dead via AI art nonsense just to be some company's mascot for them to make money.
Yeah, I like,
Wildly fucked up.
and there's no way, like, it's insane. Like, yeah, AI is insane. Like, this goes beyond where, like, they're just stealing people's work in general, obviously. But, like, yeah, Alan Turing had a famously tragic life, and we should let him rest in peace. Like,
What we
But you
did
know,
to
I think
him.
it's important to remember people and their accomplishments. You know, I feel like having the AI, with him, like
well,
brings Alan Turing to a whole generation of people
But
I
that
that's not
might
what
mean,
he's
not
doing.
have
but that's
experience.
not what it's like. That's what, like, the movie The Imitation Game is doing. That's
Yes.
like that's there's a difference between I'm going to, like, someone's going to actually, like, play a role, or someone's going to make art of them, or, like, this is like why you would save videos of a person. It is also, I think, would do cause someone to go further into their grief, to have a version of, like, if I could just go into a holodeck and talk to my grandmother I never got to say bye to, I would never leave. Like, which is basically what Culber is doing.
Well, at least he is testing it. He's talking to someone about.
Yeah, he is.
So it's not
This is
everyone
true. Maybe
has
it
this,
is
but
the brain pattern, so maybe it is more based off than just his memories, but it's still, I'm still not sure on it as a therapeutic method.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure if this ever gets explored in Star Trek again, I'm sure that whoever brings it up again, whether it comes up in Starfleet Academy or another series down the
Mhm.
road, that this person who has designed this technology based on the work that they have done in Discovery, they will add safeguards to it. But if
Mhm.
something like this existed, I would probably want to speak to my dad one more time before he got shot. And probably dance with the girl that I never danced with at my high school prom. Um, so yeah.
Um, that I could see that. So, like, once you can accept, I definitely, yeah. That's, I worry about the implications of this.
Mm.
I think that if we had it, people would use it all the time. I think that people think about, but culturally, I think people think about like dead people and ancestors differently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. Like, I think it's absolutely fascinating. I feel like I would
Yeah.
love to like have a hologram of like my grandmother and my mother.
Also,
Like, I think that'd be amazing.
also as a disabled person, like if they can bring relatives back from the dead, why stop there? Why not give me a holographic body and give me the feeling of running? Like build like a suit in Ready Player One that I put it on and I physically feel what it's like to run. I've never felt that before. So it would be great. But but this is coming from a place of honesty and I'm a good person. But I'm not saying that somebody with fucked up intentions would use that thing to do malice or to do something
Mm-hmm.
vastly fucked up. But I'm just saying from a layman's person of view, and I'm thinking of how would I use that to this? How would I use that to experience things that I've never done before because of the person that I am and the circumstances that my life has given me?
Well, give the progenitor tech to Marcelo. Okay,
That's we trust Marcelo with it.
I do.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
brain, no.
Not the brain. Not the brain.
No, that's definitely.
I feel like everything's gonna be a like a romantic drama if that happens. Like, no, Marcelo can't have it. It's gonna be like Dawson. Everything's gonna be like Dawson's Creek. Like,
Oh.
no.
Yeah, romance drama.
Possible.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh yeah, Jill did. We got Kovic back.
We
It's been a
did.
second. Though now after he was like, I have paper for the 21st century. My new theory, that's very serious and totally not a joke. Is Kovic is actually David Cronenberg somehow.
And a time traveler.
Traveled. And a
He time
traveler.
travels to get good stationery.
Yeah.
He got stranded
doesn't
for a few
affect the
decades,
timeline.
got into directing, and
Yeah.
now he's
He
back
took
in
a
the
whole
30
office
seconds.
depot. Took it.
Yeah, he got bored. So he's like, I would have been time travel. I think this would be fun.
And so he captures Michael when she does her inner ship transporting. Is he just trying to get people to walk by constantly grabbing them whenever they don't walk and transport around the ship? I think he's just trying to make people
I
walk.
just love that he's just like, "Weep, I got you." And you're like, how did I
Oh,
end up in this weird
I thought
room?
she showed the infinity symbol. I thought she
I missed
chose
that
to.
if she did.
I missed that.
I was taking
I-
notes. And
I
Yeah,
was
I don't
legit
think he
confused.
blocked her out.
I thought he could just do that. You transport. You're like, you're here. Okay,
I
you're coming to
accepted
me.
it.
Imagine
That's the
he-
worst part. I was just like, yeah, sure.
what I love about that is for you all, it wasn't he beamed them away. It was he waits for them to try to beam somewhere else and snatches them out of that.
Lazy, not walking to the bridge. Come here.
Yeah, this is. Yeah,
Well, he has,
I'm.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I was confused. I was like,
She,
I
she,
still.
had,
Oh,
the, she had the thing. She
That
had the
makes
thing.
so much more sense, Dan.
Yes, it
Hey,
does.
I was paying attention to like the biblical implications of it. I had other profound thoughts, and that I just accepted that he was snatching people.
And a time traveler. Yes, I don't. That's just. He does what he wants.
I mean,
And
come
coming
on.
to the
Like,
conclusion
she
that
would be
he's
so
just David
annoyed. I mean,
Cronenberg.
she would have reacted to be like, "Ugh, you pulled me in."
Yeah. That's
She's a
true.
professional. She keeps it inside.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking like a couple episodes. I was thinking to myself, they don't walk on the ship anymore. They just transport everywhere. And like, is that technically healthy? Like, are they
Yeah,
just
it's
Probably
too lazy
not.
to walk?
Like,
There are other ways
This
to
looks
get
so weird.
physical exercise.
I mean, if it's a red alert and you're gonna die, sure. But
You do it, yeah, but yes, Stan, there are other ways to get physical exercise, and maybe like they have a gym on the disco. They gotta have a gym, right, Stan? They gotta have a
they
gym.
do.
Yeah, we see
They
it.
have.
Definitely
We've seen it.
Oh
we've
yeah,
seen
oh yes, that's right. Yes.
I would say
Reese and Detmer sparring. We've seen Michael and
Giorgio
Filippo
and
sparring.
Book.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
that's right.
that sexy Starfleet leotard thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
was
don't
gonna
think anybody's getting it, but yes.
Probably not. I wasn't even like thinking about it that much. I was just like, I don't know. Somehow she ended up back here. But I would say in the lamp that he could still be David Cronenberg. It's just be a lamp.
That's true. Still, whenever they go to Kovic's white space, I always think all those weird, like,
This is
giant
true.
racks of guns from the Matrix in the white space
Mhm.
come.
Mm.
Every time I think that's going to happen.
This is true.
It
Almost
also
every.
looks like
Got
a
two guns, and yeah, she comes.
This is true. Almost everyone on Discovery has a standing desk.
Yes.
Trying to make up for not walking.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is true. If you're taking a sacrifice race, you don't need to go to the gym.
This is one of the things. There have been a couple of episodes since the third season with that technology. They've never said this definitively, so this is 100% headcanon, but I do feel like for programmable matter and for the transporter, there must be some kind of neural link, because
has to.
in a couple of episodes now, they've been
All
transporting
they just hit.
Yeah, they just tap it and then they're like, they don't program anything in. Like they have to be thinking about where they want to go, which I also think adds a nice layer of, oh, well, that's why they didn't do this, that, or whatever. Like in a tense moment, they think, "Oh, get over there really quick." They don't think beam back to the ship as quickly as they
And
might.
that's
think.
why Linus kept screwing up,
Or
because he's
my
not good with
side
names.
goes. Yeah.
This is true. Plus, there's just a lot going on. I've imagined this show would point out Cronenberg wanted to sit down. I was like, yeah, David Cronenberg is also a lot older than most of the other cast.
That was a great desk. I'm
was a
loving
great
the
desk.
furniture this season.
Yeah.
I mean, the set decorations on the show have been incredible since day one, but I'm really loving Federation HQ, and I'm hoping we see more of that in the Academy
Every
show.
time someone like identifies something from either Discovery or Strange New World, like a furniture item, I'm always like, oh, that's cool. And then I look at the price and go, oh, right, set decorator budget is not your budget.
Yeah. And a lot of that is borrowed because
because they need something that looks futuristic and cool. And
yes, and like I think the chairs in that committee meeting, I think each one is like $5,000. Like they did not buy those chairs.
No, they did not.
Because they make like 10 of them, and
yeah. Like this will be seen by millions of people, many of which will want to buy it.
Yeah, I'm actually obsessed with Pike's quarters. Like I'm obsessed with like the first time that the first time that we see it in the pilot for Strange New Worlds, and when we step in there, him and Spock have a quick conversation. I love the table that they're standing at while they had their conversation. Of course, the man has a kitchen in his quarters. Come on, any further than that? Come on.
His version of the Ready Room on Discovery was really cool too. I like Michael's, but his had more blues in it that I really liked.
Which they just destroyed by jumping. I imagine the Kovich is also allergic to whatever Kirk was allergic to. Why he couldn't wear
Retinol 5 or something.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he say something? He's like,
Redneck 5, isn't it? Redneck 5.
There, somewhere in between what we said. I think I don't remember.
Yeah,
chat.
Right.
I remembered he was allergic to something. That was but I would imagine the common thing, or a lot of our characters are allergic to this thing because some of these actors need their glasses.
I too am allergic, so.
All right, y'all. I gotta dip out to take care of this dog before the salon. Shameless.
Yeah, everyone, make sure to head over to the salon after we're done here. It's always a good time.
Yes, thank you all very much for having me at Salon Trek here on YouTube. We'll see you all in 45 minutes. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Always
fun to see you, Stan.
Bye, Stan. Yeah.
I can't believe we both thought they were getting yoinked out of the transport.
So, how do you guys think it's gonna end? Like we only have a couple weeks left.
No,
the wedding, Saru and Tarina's wedding.
My wedding.
Yeah.
Look.
Where's the second episode in a row without Saru? And I'm like, wait, bring back, please.
Yeah.
Because we have one more clue. So one more episode of the clue, and then we have two more episodes after that. So there'll be this. So that's 7, and then 7, 8. Oh, we have 4 episodes. Yeah, 7, 8.
4,
9, 10,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I can't use numbers apparently, but so one more is the clue. Then they get the progenitor tech in 8, conceivably, and then they have 2, and you could put the planning for the wedding and like wrap up. In one of those, 7 or 8 or 9, and then the end will be the wedding. And then 9, because they seem to wrap things up in the second to last more than the last, a little bit. And
the last
not
episode,
completely, but
the last episode kind of serves as their coda for the season, or in this instance, the series.
Well, then they have those 15 minutes they're going to add on the end of the last episodes that they shot after they found out they were done.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some wrapping up stuff that...
So I assume that'll be like a 75-minute episode because they already had a whole bunch shot.
Right.
And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if it's more like replacing shots, or
Could
just
be,
like
but
we're going to add stuff at the end.
I figured they would just add. Why waste what they already had? They got money to add more.
I do wonder. I wonder if because we're all basically in agreement. We think that
What do
Tilly's
we
going to
know?
be on the Academy show. I'm like wondering if like they had like was the Academy show greenlit before they knew Discovery was ending? So it was
Yes, I believe
Yeah,
so.
but I don't know how
So-
much they've done on it. But because it was greenlit a
Yeah.
long time ago, but then sort of in
I
the,
mean, oh,
just like
I
Section
mean-
31
like okay, I mean
forever.
I'm gonna say I mean the like more recent like they put a post up and they were like we're actually making it as
Going to
opposed
build
to, like,
sets, yeah.
yeah, because like it's been like somewhat greenlit for years.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't heard
I
exactly.
actually see this happening. Michael giving a wedding speech. We think
She's captain.
Mike-
She can marry
okay.
him. She can marry him.
Oh,
That's right.
actually,
That's right. She
Like
can
balance
get
of
she can
hair.
get ordained really quick. Yeah.
Or she doesn't need to be. She's captain.
she doesn't need to. She's a captain.
That's right. She's
okay,
captain. Sorry.
this is my theory. Either Michael or Vance is going to marry them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be
It could be
Michael. It
Vance,
has to
but-
be Michael. It's got to be Michael.
Michael could
I
give
can-
Saru
okay.
away.
I could see, like I was gonna say, I could see them asking Michael to play a familiar role for Saru.
Yeah.
Flower
You know
girl.
what, Mike? Yeah, Mike. not Michael Byrne. We crazy.
Tilly should be no, Linus should be the flower girl.
Oh, yeah. And then play piano at the reception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
And then somebody-
if this doesn't happen, we should all get Discovery action figures and make this wedding happen.
I'm down for it.
There are basically only Discovery action figures of Saru and Michael, so we'll have to get a little creative.
Hey, I mean, hey, if this doesn't happen, I can write it because that's the one, positive about being who I am. I can write stuff. It doesn't.
I don't-
it
I
don't
would
happen, it
say
doesn't happen.
I did notice that also Tilly being like, Michael, you should come to the Academy, and I was like, I doubt Shaniqua Martin Green is going to be a regular character on the
No.
Academy.
But that was
show.
more like, remember the Academy show, kids?
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
But, you know,
she
I'm-
could guess.
I'm
She
sure-
could guess, but
I could
But-
definitely see Shaniqua Martin Green guesting. I don't see them making
No,
a spinoff
not a
just to make
regular.
Shaniqua Martin Green the lead again.
no.
She's actually
Yeah.
Shaniqua Martin Green is actually preparing or prepping to direct her first movie. I don't know how far along she is with that.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely she would be very busy with that.
Yeah, I'm sure. And she
I-
just had a movie come out she starred in, too. It premiered at South by when you guys were trying to see that.
Well, Fathery did get to see the episode of South by.
But she had
Didn't-
she was there for another movie she
Yeah.
was starring in.
Man.
I forget the name. I'm terrible.
Tell about names. Join the club, man. I can't remember anybody's name.
Well, I guess what people are trying to figure out is can a captain marry someone if they're not on their ship? And I'm gonna say anyone can get ordained in the real world, so I don't know that it matters.
Vance just issues a proclamation. That's okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Starfleet president.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm
Federation
gonna
president.
say
That's okay.
Navarre
Or maybe
marriage,
she can't because
Navarre
she violated
marriage
the Prime
rules-
Directive. No marriage.
Navarre marriage rules could be completely different than Earth marriage rules.
That's true. So we should really talk about the Prime Directive violations too. Are those just fines in the 32nd century? Like, okay, you dock you a day's pay, even though
Yeah.
we don't pay you. One bar of latinum.
You're not allowed. You get your holodeck privileges taken away for a week.
Only crappy food from the replicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, only
I
captain.
and I was pro the Prime Directive violation
yeah,
this week
of
because I
course,
was
but
like,
it's just-
Tilly, I was like, I thought they were maybe gonna have to pull a First Contact the episode thing where they're like, anyways, you have to come with us now because you're not gonna shut up about us. And it
Yeah,
also reminded me of Who Watches the Watchers, but with the
Well,
the
yeah,
God thing.
I thought of that too while watching.
Yeah.
It, of course.
Yeah, I've
Especially the
actually
gods.
been,
Thing, yeah.
yeah, I've actually been watching a lot of Voyager for some reason recently, and I've become more comfortable with Discovery breaking the Prime Directive because Janeway did it all the time.
I mean, Janeway literally had no choice. Like,
Yeah, what was she gonna do? And
Yeah,
Kirk
what
didn't
she gonna
care.
Yeah, he didn't care. So,
Jean-Luc was like, "Well, I guess," and that was okay.
I guess. But you know
He's all-
what? But Would you guys agree that Jean-Luc was the one captain that tried to stay close to the rules as close to the rules as possible when it came to Starfleet, not just in the Prime Directive?
I would
Well,
say
at first,
yeah.
unless it's Wesley, and then we're breaking it.
Okay.
Unless it's a child about to be murdered for
We're stepping on
for
flowers.
bouncing a ball, basically.
Yeah,
I
but
stepped on the grass.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say that they have the Prime Directive. They also they basically don't have the death penalty unless you go to a weird planet. Like that have like
And even then, if you have a good reason, they
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
Because the Enterprise sure goes there a lot.
yeah, who's gonna stop Janeway from breaking the Prime? Honestly, if
Nobody.
Janeway did pretty well for not having anyone over her for not going insane, as proved by I can't think of that episode title, that when they find the other people and they've been like harvesting live like creatures.
Oh yeah. The other ship that got
Yeah.
thrust. Yeah, and
It's
yeah,
hard
I can't
too
remember
when
the name of the episode.
she single-handedly destroyed the Borg,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
they're like,
biggest threat the galaxy had.
Hmm.
Yeah, Beta Federation.
Yeah.
And like yeah.
That's why.
And also,
I mean,
how is the Federation gonna find out? Are they gonna go to the Delta Quadrant and like
yeah. Yeah. But
Neelix turned state's evidence.
Oh my god.
that's why they had to
you
leave him
imagine-
there.
Yeah.
You little
You
worm.
snitch, you go away.
you little snitch.
Oh shit,
For
stay here.
Yeah. For 7 years, I had you on my home, and now you backstab me the second we get back. What is wrong with you, you snitch?
I also love that they leave Neelix so far away that I was like, I guess they never talk to Neelix again.
Yeah.
Like I wonder because they were talking to Neelix in that last episode, and then they go back to Earth. I wonder if Neelix is like, did they all die? What happened?
I think the EMH he communicates with them. But Neelix is like, doesn't answer all of them. He's like,
Yeah.
Now that I'm rewatching Voyager, or I'm watching Voyager because I'm not. I constantly watch Voyager on a loop. It's ridiculous. It would have been really fun to see them get a movie, like just
Well, yeah.
It would have been.
one more. Like that would have been really cool. But that's
I would have loved just any of them in like when they got back. Like
yeah. Like it would have been great to see Tom reunite with his dad after everything that he did and everything they
again,
went
and
through.
Yeah, it was very
talk
strange
about
how.
this scene. So, a genuine question: does he ever actually have a scene with Admiral Paris?
I don't think
By a
so.
view screen
Well,
only,
in
right?
Actual,
He's there.
yeah.
I don't like. Does he ever actually talk to his father?
I don't think
Because
he talks to him, but he might be there. It's really
He's
weird.
there because she says something about your son. He has this. I would say Robert Duncan McNeil does a great job with giving a look when they didn't give him a line.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't think anyone would think it was inappropriate if Tom went, Dad. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, or
Yeah, I would
like if Tom yelled, "I love you" or something. Like, maybe that's too
Miggly
much.
Moo got to talk to his mom.
Yeah.
Oh, big yeah. I was on a stream one time, and I can't remember who said it, but forgive me for stealing your idea. But they proposited that the final scene of Voyager should have been the crew evacuating to Earth, and Janeway should have been the last person to leave the ship. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's
Yeah, that
good.
would have been good.
Yeah, I don't know who said that. I'm so sorry.
She'd have to take a broom and get all those guys who sat on the bottom on guard duty, like the guy from Rage Against the Machine, who was just standing there in the bottom deck.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here!
It does remind me of if you've ever heard Kate Mulgrew talk about her last scene where they're doing a bunch of reshoots and it was only her and they were like taking away the shred around her.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
And they
okay.
went like cut and then she was just sitting there alone and then Robert Ricardo came out of nowhere and like brought her a drink.
And no rap party for them.
So there was a rap party like a week earlier.
A week later?
And she
earlier?
had to
Okay.
like a week earlier and she had to do a bunch.
okay,
I
that's
think because
why.
she was playing
Okay.
two characters. It was part of it.
Okay.
And they just had to do a lot of reshoots with her specifically.
Wow.
Yeah, she had
Like she never
complicated-
said it was because she had to play two characters. That's just because I know the Voyager finale. That's what I assume was probably
She had
going
makeup
on.
for the one and a lot more. and-
Yeah.
Right.
Um.
Yeah, I mean, I love Voyager, but in the later seasons, there's so many things that I was like, you guys are great, but just if you would
I
have done
think
this,
it's
it
like-
would have been better.
Voyager being forced to be so episodic in those later seasons, where I'm
Right.
and I'm like, talk to your dad, like, please.
Yeah.
Well, back to Discovery here. I have a few
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
Sorry about that,
That's-
guys. I
It's
sorry.
okay. No,
I-
it was
We're
fine.
at least talking
I'm
You
the
need
about
to
one-
Star
talk
Trek.
about Voyager. You got
Yeah,
to talk about
yeah.
Voyager.
We
but-
got off
I'm-
track by at least talking about other Star Trek.
Yeah. Do they
Yeah.
fix the other 4 towers? I didn't get that. Wasn't clear when at the end. They get that
okay. I
clue
had
from
that. I
Tower
don't
5.
think so. But
Why
I'm
didn't
not
they fix them
positive.
then?
I don't
That
know.
seems like because it's probably made to have them all work. Because that was like a quarter of the
or
planet. if they
maybe,
all
or
work.
maybe they were too far gone because they said like do this without completely like sabotaging the like motherboard. So maybe if they're like completely out, they're out.
They
and
have
so we would have to,
programmable
like-
matter.
That's fair.
There's all those people on
By
the
the way-
science deck. Make them get a new one. It's
You,
900-year-old denobly intact. They should be
Oh.
able to make that.
Is
You
this
just-
was that the implication? Genuinely, that's Paul.
Oh.
This is the implication. Was
Okay.
fixing Tower 1 would reboot all
That's
of them.
good, Paul. The reason why I say that is they have that picture at the end. Just the one. It's bigger because before it was a round circle of green, but at the end it's a hexagon of green, tying back into the fire 6 torpedoes for a hexagon.
So maybe,
This
although
is-
even
I
if
don't
the
know.
other ones were fixed, they could have been out for so long that you need a couple rounds of rain to get that dust to go away.
that's possible. It seemed like there was some kind of force field too to keep the dust away, and not just that it was wet. Because when the one was fixed, it was wider. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Maybe I'm making that up, but just on a
That's
visual
what-
look at the planet.
Paul, out of curiosity, can you remember what the line from Adira was? Because I missed it.
I missed
If
it.
That's
Yeah, I've
I
watched
watched
it
that-
3 times, but
I watched it twice, but
Yeah,
It's-
I actually pulled a Braxton this evening, and I didn't make it all the way through because I had to actually
Demerit.
run here. Demerit for me. Well,
it was definitely bigger. The circle was definitely bigger, but I don't know.
have we?
Oh,
Have
it's- I just remembered this. Their bowl thing with this. I like that they were like, we need a sonic thing, and then the pre-warp civilization basically had that.
yes,
In
I
some
love
form
that. 'Cause
that I
those are,
love.
I think those are like Tibetan Buddhist singing
Yeah.
bowls.
I
they exist.
absolutely love that they're like, they're not dumb. They know how to fix this. They just don't have the same technology.
I wrote down in my notes. It's just like the Fremen and Dune have all these ways of controlling water. Like they can, like their tubes. There's no water sticks to the tube on the way down. It just completely goes into wherever
Yeah.
they need it.
it's
which is-
magic, Joel.
No, it's just
Mhm.
specific
Technology,
technology.
Specific technology. Sorry.
And so, yeah, the bowls were like that, specifically to deal with dust in humans. So I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that they're like, sorry, new girl, gonna have to pass out. Like,
She can't handle her bowl. All the rest of them made fun of her when she passed out. They were like, "She can't handle her bowl."
they thought
Those
about
Easters.
they thought about putting warm water in one of them and putting her hand in it.
Oh my god.
They did. They just cut that scene.
Yeah.
It's a waste of water.
Does anybody know if we ever have gotten an explanation on like if programmable matter has any like things that it can't do, or if there are any limitations on what it can and can't do?
I'm sure it can't do things just like the replicator. I'm sure it can't be. Wow, we have dilithium, because they had dilithium
Yeah.
shortages. But other than that kind of thing, I haven't heard anything.
No, I would imagine it's probably the same things replicators can't make, like the lithium or
Yeah.
latinum.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. No.
because then you break everything if you can do that.
Yeah, you break everything. Yeah.
And they
I've
already
always
broke a
wondered
lot.
that. Yeah. That was broke a lot.
And then also
I-
the ending too, because the next clue is on Beta Z, But
Yeah.
that was the false place. I went back to episode 2 and watched it. The
That is
false
the
place
false
where
place.
Mal and Locke went was Beta Z. That was not where the next clue was, but it is where the next clue is. So it's like, it's not clue 3, but it is clue 6 or whatever it is. 5.
But I think the thing is, like, if you got that last clue, you wouldn't have the
you
other
could
ones.
find it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of odd that
Because I think if
out
you
of
got
all the
clue
planets,
6, if you went to clue 6, you would have the first and last clue, but you wouldn't know how to get the other ones.
okay.
Also, I thought it was really fun that the Beta Z's first name is Marina.
I noticed
like,
that because I wrote
yeah.
down all those names, and I was just like, "Well, that's."
Because I was
cool.
looking,
Oh, that's cool.
I don't like. I for some reason I was watching it and I rewinded a second. I wanted to look at the names, and that's when I noticed
paused
Marina.
it. Yeah.
I was pausing to see if like someone was going to be recognizable. Except the only thing I noticed was that, I mean, obviously named after Marina Sirtis, right? Like
Well, of
that's
course, yeah.
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 I love that.
The
and
other
I-
one would be Majel or
Yeah. I didn't recognize the last name from anything.
Derek's. No, it just seems
Yeah.
like a generic truck name, but
Yeah,
and not a real world. It seems too exy to be real.
yeah.
Like Velek, the Romulan one.
I was very proud of myself because I'm not always the best at recognizing Easter eggs, and I got that one.
Yeah,
I'm horrible.
rewound it
I'm
and paused
horrible
it
with
right
Easter eggs.
What was the test for this clue? I think it was the sacrifice race.
Yeah, the sacrifice with the water, wasn't it?
Yeah, I also just like as they were saying at the end that like there's a responsibility with technology is the lesson.
The lesson. I
kinda
guess you
like-
could get the clue without the lesson. You could just get the
Yeah.
clue and leave everyone to die. But if you did that,
Yeah.
you'd be a giant jerk. Denoblians would haunt you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Um.
Dr. Phlox comes back.
And so my theory about like why. Well, I think they said they didn't. They were kind of. I think they implied that the Denoblians did not know they were sacrificing people.
No, because they kind of they made it clear that at
Yeah.
first they weren't. And then
Yeah.
at some point, the people who lived there started adding the sacrifices, probably as they stopped working.
I think as they stopped working because they thought that's what they wanted.
Because
So
they
my
thought
theory,
we screwed up. We have to do more.
yeah, my theory is that the Denoblians were coming by and fixing it till the burn happened.
Possibly.
That's interesting.
Is
That's
that what,
like
120
that's just
years
my
ago?
like that the burn happened and they weren't able to get back there then.
Yeah.
That's a good theory.
I believe Braxton's ringtone is the Star Trek doorbell.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
my ringtone is the TNG theme.
My phone is never on sound. So.
Well, I think my text tone is technically the TNG communicator, but my sound is never on for that.
Actually, my text tone is the TNG communicator, and my ringtone that I never have on, I haven't had it on in years, is the is actually Spock's theme from Star Trek
Huh.
2009.
I would say
the
I
vi-
actually hear
the-
it more.
the
The TNG
violin.
theme song more is also what I for my alarm clock because it's the loudest noise I won't
Ooh.
get sick of.
But does that mean you hate it now, though? I used to do
No,
that
it's
with
the
music,
loudest-
but then I
it's the
started to hate
loudest-
the music.
It's the loudest noise I won't get sick of.
You
I've
get sick of,
discovered.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Every other loud song I think I would get sick of, and that one I was just like, it's Star Trek.
Because I did a song I liked at one point, and then I started to hate it. I was like,
I'm just usually like in situations where it'd be inappropriate to have my phone ring. And then there have been situations where my phone rings and people look at me and they're like, is that? Although this was like over a Discord call, so I don't think the person heard the song that well. They went, it's Rachel's my phone rang, it was my dad, and I had to answer it. And then as I muted, I heard one of my friends go, is Rachel's theme song the national anthem? And my other friend went, it's Rachel's national anthem.
Yeah. Also,
Nice.
for a while, I had the piece of music from, I think it's Star Trek, Insurrection.
hmm
The opening credit scenes where their names sort of blur out. I love that piece of music from Michael. I think it's what's his name? Oh my God! Oh,
I know
crap.
what you're
He
talking
did the
about, but I
music
don't
for
remember
Alien.
his name.
What's his composer's name? Jerry Goldsmith.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Terry Matalas repurposed it for the season 3 closing credits for Picard.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I had that for a while too.
That is a good piece of music.
Yeah.
I love it. Just
Love
I think we're all to our age. We're like, we can't actually let things hear things. No, that's
Yeah.
why they had to build in a thing to make your phone make a noise.
Vibrator, a vibrator button thing.
Well, no, they had to make the thing to like find your phone to make your phone make a noise specifically for finding it because no one ever has their ringtone on.
Right, yeah, that's right, yeah.
This episode had to be based on the Trekkies at Red Fair meme. That's
They
I've
didn't have
always wanted to do
uniforms.
that. They did not have uniforms.
It would have been classier.
Hmm.
Oh yes, I think that's what we were thinking. The 2009,
Yeah.
those movies. That is actually Enterprising Young Men. I have on a bunch of like playlists. Enterprising Young Men is a great piece of
actually,
music.
yeah, I actually have Enterprise of Young Men. I mean, this tells you how stuck up in my own ethos I am. I have a writer's mix, and Enterprise of Young Men is like halfway down. And every time I
Enterprising
hear
Young
it,
Men is also on my writing playlist.
yeah, and every time it hits, no matter what scene I'm writing, when I hear that thing come on, I'm like, I can push a little bit more. I got more.
My writing playlist is mostly like movie soundtracks. It's a weird mix of like it's Star Trek and Star Wars and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and also Jane Austen and
Whatever you
and
like.
Downton Abbey. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll skip a song if I'm like, I'm writing a tender love scene, and then Enterprising Young Men comes on. I'm
You're
like,
like,
no,
No.
the vibe
Also-
isn't there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, one that I also have on there from Star Trek 09 is the song that plays when Kirk's mom's shuttle escapes the USS Calvin. That piece of music.
Mhm.
That piece of music is one of the favorite pieces that Michael Giacchino has ever written, and Michael Giacchino is my favorite composer of all time. And every time I hear that thing, it makes me cry. It's
I need
just
It's good.
so good.
Yeah, I should have that. Okay, this the most relaxing piece of music on that playlist for me is a strings rendition of the Deep Space Nine soundtrack, the Deep Space Nine theme song.
Oh yeah, well,
It is so chill, and that's the
I don't
put
have
that
that.
on
I should find.
when I
should
need to
find it.
chill.
I don't.
I've
have it.
heard
should
that.
find
I
it.
have not for a while, but
Yeah.
I gotta find it. I found on YouTube the other day. I found this young woman who did the Deep Space Nine feed, but on like a flute. I think it was on like flute.
Oh, Mary,
I think I've seen that.
I'm friends with her.
Oh,
I know her
really?
from TikTok. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
It's good. Yeah.
she's great, and she has I'm just gonna plug my friend's thing. She has an entire album of Star Trek covers now.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. Like, can you view them on TikTok, or it's like an album?
I think mainly on TikTok with
Spotify?
music is in a little bit of a weird spot right now. She also
Yeah,
does
and-
like streams on like YouTube and Twitch sometimes.
Okay. Does she have like a Spotify playlist thing or not?
Yeah, let me. The Nerdy
Right.
Flutist is her like handle for
Okay, the nerdy
stuff.
flutist. Okay.
Now I'm just. She also played. This is true. Now I'm just plugging my friend. She played music for when Kate Mulgrew came and went to the Janeway statue at the Janeway birthplace.
Oh,
Indiana.
cool.
Yep. I'm just gonna be a little bit. She lives around that area. I'm not gonna be more specific than that.
Okay, that's fine. That's very cool.
Let me see. I think there should be a link tree on her Instagram.
Okay.
I didn't want to open
Okay.
TikTok because I didn't want to start playing sound.
Blaring.
Right. Copyright. Yeah.
Okay. What else do I have in my
Some of her
notes
stuff
here?
is definitely on Spotify. I don't know if everything is.
Okay.
I think it is. If you.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so
I distracted us again.
The name of her Trek
Join the
album
club.
is the Inner Light Fleet music from the Final Frontier.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
The flutiest song there is. to
yes.
Trek.
One thing is she loved the first season of Picard sound opening, and so that all the other ones have less flute. She's like, "Aw."
Yeah. No. The look. Picard season 1, I can make it through. Picard season 1, Picard season 1 and me are on good speaking terms, but 3 we're divorced, and 4 we're going and 3 we're going steady. Sorry, I'm really weird. With that, I'm sorry, guys.
Anyway, she's very talented, and you should check out her stuff.
Awesome. I'm definitely gonna check out her stuff.
That's
The nerdy flutist.
yes.
Okay,
She's
I got her.
great, and yeah, it just became a thing of me being like, you should check out my friend's music, because you should. That's
Yeah, it's good.
yeah.
And I just randomly came across it on YouTube. So.
I mean, I rarely came across her on TikTok. We follow each
Yeah.
other. Like that's how I don't know. That's at least how Trek Talk works for me.
That's how stuff works. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
it's basically how I met all of you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's true.
Like,
yeah. How? Yeah. Well, I met you, Rachel, through a mutual friend of ours, if I'm remembering correctly.
I mean,
Um,
indirectly, it's how I met all of you because it's how I met
Yeah.
all the mutual friends that we
right.
have in common.
Talk
Yes.
to. Yeah.
I can plot. I know the whole way that happened, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go into it. But
Mm-hmm.
but the chat is asking me to highlight something.
Oh,
Apparently, Yum Yum. What's the full Yum Yum podcast asked if anyone should actually have the progenitor tech. And the
No.
answer is probably
Probably-
no, but
probably
maybe
no.
the Federation should get it and put it in that Indiana Jones warehouse where no one will
Thank
ever
They
you,
should
Joel.
COVID
because
should
that
just
ties
make
into the
another
Indiana
one-
Jones thing.
COVID should make another one of those weird rooms. Put it there. Loose the key.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like what's going to happen is something's going to happen. They're going to use it once and then get rid of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Green
the
might use
something's
it
going to
once,
happen is,
or
but
yeah, or
Something
I don't know if Maul and Locke will actually have it long enough to use it, but
bad is going to happen.
I think
And then,
my
you know-
guess is something bad's going to happen. They're going to use it to fix it.
Yeah.
or maybe
feel
they
like-
use it to change Locke
James
so
Horner
he's got
syndrome.
a real boy form that doesn't cause energy, and then he could just
Jane,
use all of
They're
his
gonna-
energy to make out with Maul, and then he'll be happy.
yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah. Jane,
they're gonna make it so Pinocchio's a real boy again. And
actually, you know what? They're gonna make it to bring back Prime Giorgio. Prime Philippa Giorgio. Why am I obsessed with Michelle Yeoh coming
I
back?
don't-
I have no idea.
she's
Because she
she's
told
going
you
to
she'd
be on
kick
a
your ass
different
if you
show
didn't.
already.
Yeah,
She's got a
she's
movie
so
coming.
great.
It'll
She's
be
got a
great.
movie coming. I gotta calm down.
I've got to wait a while, and a year
Yeah, I
maybe.
gotta-
But
Of all the people I think they're going to bring back, the one I expect the least is Giorgio.
but yeah,
Oh man. Oh,
she
Hope
loves it.
Springs-
Though.
oh,
Michelle just she loves
Oh,
it.
I think she
Yeah,
loves
does-
it. The
doesn't
reason I
have
don't
time.
think she's going to come back to Discovery is
Expensive.
she's starring in a different Star Trek thing.
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah. and expensive. Guys, I just want it all. I'm just like a
That's fair.
spoiled kid. Give me this.
It's just Emperor Giorgio and Carl, fighting
Here,
crime.
I'll find
Yeah,
you some
but-
Emperor Giorgio fan fiction and send it your way, Marcelo.
Thank you.
I haven't
Because
looked for that.
I-
it has to exist, right?
It has to exist. somehow. But
I'm sure. it
but
does.
just to be clear, I love Emperor. I love Emperor Giorgio, but I'm a big fan of Prime Giorgio. Before she got,
Well, yeah, we
I've
just didn't
always
see
I
much.
want to meet Prime Lorca. That's my. I don't think we're
Right, that's
going
another
to
one, yeah.
here.
I don't think we will, but it's too bad
Yeah,
right.
because that movie would be a good place to
that
do it.
would be. I don't.
But I don't
Maybe
think
they're
they got
keeping
Isaac.
Jason Isaacs hidden somewhere.
I mean, it's possible, but
That is genuinely possible, and I've never gotten I've gotten the impression that Jason Isaacs, if they could make it work, would come back.
Oh,
yeah, but
he
when
seems like
when
a
Yo was in
great
Toronto
guy.
again, you saw all over. Yo spotted in restaurant in Toronto, so you knew
Yeah.
she was there. Isaacs, he might get away with not doing that.
I don't. Yeah, I
Not
don't
quite as big.
know. I mean, we already did. We literally already got a casting news spoiled by, hey, what's Paul Wesley doing there?
Oh,
Then they had a quick
I
release
wonder-
those pictures.
Yeah, I love that it was like clear. Like immediately you looked at him, he's clearly playing Kirk. He's
Oh
a
God,
little
yeah.
too.
There was no doubt.
He's a little,
No doubt.
just a little too famous to not. I'm still convinced that that was on purpose. That's my. That's
I
my
think it was
conspiracy
leaked
theory.
early. I think somebody had shots, so they had to leak it before it came out.
So my
'Cause it
theory
was
is
so early.
that they were worried that people wouldn't like that they were worried about people's reaction to it, so they decided to put it out early and decided to make it look like an accident because why there was nothing covering the fact they were filming.
It's so hard when you do it in
Yeah.
real
Maybe-
city.
But I was
Maybe-
there was usually
you
like
know,
I've
maybe it was
seen
just a
on
leak.
shows like Once Upon a Time where they would like put up like a sheet or something if they were filming something big that they didn't want people leaking. And sometimes it's hard, but nothing. This is my one big conspiracy theory is that I think that was on purpose.
The BBC
And
has
as
been
far
doing
as
that a lot
conspiracy
too.
theories go,
Whenever they shoot
Braxton.
outside.
Braxton, I've been obsessed. What in the world have you been drinking this whole time?
Oh,
People
dude,
want to
I'm-
know.
I'm sorry, guys. I just fast. What is it?
I'm drinking fruit punch high C, dude.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
fun.
thought it was
Mhm.
like a V8 or something.
I
I was
guess.
like,
Oh no, dude, I'm just drinking fruit punch hot tea, dude. It's like
Okay.
90 degrees here, dude. It's hot as hell, dude. I gotta stay hydrated.
It's like 60
it's already
degrees
90
here.
there. It's not even 90
Yes,
in Texas.
it's ridiculous. It's like July here. It's crazy.
I saw that on Twitter. People out east were saying, yeah, like high 80s. So I was just like,
I'm
what?
looking at
Yeah.
what
60
no,
degrees
it's-
here.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
Here-
it's gonna
here
be
at
80.
Texas.
I'm saying that apparently it's gonna be 91 on Tuesday. Never mind. It's
But
gonna
you're
be
in Texas.
Yeah, you're in
Other
You know,
Texas.
get
Texas
East
hot.
always
Coast a
on
little
top.
different.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Does anyone
No, but-
have any like last minute thing they want to say? That way we can make sure people.
Okay,
So the
let-
salon
let-
is starting soon.
Yeah. I think we covered most
Do you
things.
guys-
My
do
notes
you guys
are
think-
in order.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm trying to look at my notes. And
Oh
like,
no. So does anybody here think that Michael and Book are going to get back together? Like,
Yeah,
they're
or do you guys
certainly
think it's
laying the
like that?
groundwork.
I think they're gonna reconnect at the wedding. That's my theory for right
Yeah,
now.
the wedding.
The spotlight
Maybe
will go
Wayne
on
doesn't
them,
need
and then
one.
they'll slow
Yeah.
dance, and then
Oh, I definitely think
Yeah.
they're gonna slow dance at the wedding. That's genuinely my theory. Yep.
and then Adam Sandler gets up and does his songs because he's the wedding singer. It's really
Oh,
weird,
yeah.
but I don't know why. But
Any other last minute thoughts of the episode or anything else?
no, I think we covered everything. If not, I'll rue the day later. But that's all I can think of now.
You'll rue the day.
It's hard to spell,
Sorry.
but it's French.
Frasier thing. Yeah.
Braxton, any last minute thoughts?
No, I just really enjoyed this episode. I thought
Yeah.
it was super fun. You know, I want to watch again. Perhaps I will over the weekend. But yeah, you know, like the sisterhood and like
Yeah.
all the mothering and stuff. You know, all the Tilly, like totally good for me. Absolutely loved it. I love abuelas.
And Culber and Stamets talk. That's good.
Yeah, I genuinely love that scene, and I love the Culber being concerned for his partner, which is very cute. That's the, I read a lot of romance books. Okay, guys,
That's okay.
Of course you do.
I genuinely enjoyed this episode a lot, and I love talking to everyone, even in our chaotic, somewhat off-topic ways.
But Voyager is almost topic. It counts.
Voyager's almost
It's Trek.
almost on topic.
Yeah.
True.
You gotta pull in the Trek.
Again, my bad, guys. My bad, because I'm the one that took us down that rabbit
No,
hole.
No, it was Star Trek.
Voyager will kill you like the Borg
I
if you
started
don't talk
talking about how I
it.
thought a character
Janeway,
was just
yeah.
the. I started talking about how I thought a character was just the actor that plays him. So that's,
It happens.
yeah. So I guess everyone make sure to head over to the salon, which will be starting soon, and I will see you guys next week. Live
Live
long
long
and
See
and
you
prosper.
guys.
Bye.